Good morning, everybody. What's cooking? What's cooking? It's Jason Medley here. We're going to give it a few seconds to get everybody on board right now. So I'm going to kind of cruise around the backyard here until we get a couple eyeballs. I just want to tell you guys that I am juiced. I'll tell you what I am right now is I got a cobweb in my head. So I just want to tell everybody that I'm juiced this morning to be with you. And we're going to hit a couple of things head on, okay? What I have decided to do in the face of all this challenge, in the face of all of this adversity, is to be a bright light. And I want to encourage everybody through these Facebook Lives over the next coming weeks and next coming months as these challenging times unfold, is to be exactly that. Looks like we got a couple eyeballs on here right now. Say hi. Put a wave up. Let me know you're here. If I can answer any questions, type them in. But with that said, I wanted to, let's just hit the reset button here because we just got some people on. But my name is Jason Medley. I am the CEO and founder of the Collective Genius Mastermind. We are the original gangsters in our space. We've been at it for 10 years, living large and leading the top shelf investors from across the country. And as a CEO of an organization right now, I have decided to be a bright light, to be a breath of fire during challenging times like this. And I'm doing these Facebook Lives. And one of the things that I want to share with you this morning is you have a choice right now. Are you going to fold or are you going to fire during these times of challenge, right? Are you going to fold or are you going to set fire? There is no room for anything in your life right now except pure excellence. And so you've got to look at this from a fear standpoint, because all of us got a little bit of it right now. All of us have a little bit of uncertainty, and you got to figure out, what are you going to use that fear for? Okay, what are you going to use that fear for? And the thing that I want to tell you is that you've got to take it, you've got to embrace it, and you've got to remember that you were made for complete excellence. You were made to be an absolute warrior in times like these. And if you are going to lead, you must do so from a chin up, chest out perspective, and not let anyone see that fear on you. You take that fear and you turn it into power, and you take that fear and you turn it into prosperity. And that's what we're going to do. And so one of the things that I wanted to share with you this morning is how I am doing that myself. Okay, this is a super vulnerable post. It is going to share some things with you about me that I never thought I would be doing on a Facebook Live. But the reason I'm sharing these things with you is I want to share with you the struggles that I have faced in my life that have prepared me for this battle right now. Okay, and remind you of all the struggles that you have faced, all the hard times that you've been through that have tuned you and refined you for this moment, right? For this moment right now, all of the challenges that you faced in your life have tuned you and refined you to go to battle. And I'm going to share with you some super personal stuff right now of all the things that I've been through my life, starting as a teenager all the way through an adult at the ripe age of 48 years old today. Okay. The number one struggle I had this morning, just so you guys know, is letting y'all see me on Facebook Live with no gel in my hair. So, but anyway, let's get down to serious business, because this, my friends, is serious business. I actually sat down and wrote this for you this morning, okay? If you are on live right now, say hi, send me a wave. If you got any questions, let me know. I'll do whatever I can to help you. When I was 14 years old, my mother went to Europe, and I stayed with my grandmother, who was watching me during that time to make sure I didn't get in any trouble. And she passed away in my arms at 14 years old. She had a heart attack, and I held her in my arms while she was having that heart attack. When I was 18 years old, my stepfather, he had an aneurysm one morning, and he passed away on our bathroom floor. And I walked into that and watched my mother standing over him with him in her arms. When I was 28 years old, right? When I was 28 years old, I came down with an acute case of ulcerative colitis, and for 2 years I fought for my life. I went from 180 pounds at 28 years old of a strapping lad to about 115 to 120 pounds, and I was shredded down to the bone, skinny, fighting for my life. And after 2 years of that, had to go in and have a brutal surgery, which is what's called a colectomy. I had a complete removal. I know this is gross, but again, I want to share this with you guys because I want to remind you everything that you've been through prior to this point has prepared you for this moment and this time right now as a leader. I was 28 years old, had an acute case of ulcerative colitis. I weighed 115 pounds, and I went in to have a surgery. It was a complete removal of my large intestine, right? I know that's gross, but I was 28. I woke up. I was about 29 actually when that happened, and I woke up at 29 years old, a young man, world by the tail, woke up one day with a bag on, with a colostomy, right? And for 6 months of my life, the most humbling experience I've ever faced, that I've ever endured, I wore that. And 6 months later, I was fortunate enough to get to take it off, okay? Now, with that said, that was one of the most brutal periods of my entire life. And as soon as I was recovering from that surgery, I had another one to take it off and got set back again. Still 115 pounds, just fighting for my life. But here I am, 20 years later, and am in the most amazing mindset that I've ever been in after going through all of that, right? That was just the start of it. When I was in my mid-30s, right, I went through a divorce. I will share this with you, right? Like, I was in a situation where it would have been super easy for me to blame my ex-wife for what happened. The reality of it is, it was a 50-50 deal. For years, I was a workaholic. I was a machine. I worked every day, every week, every month until 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night, night after night, day after day, month after month. And eventually she got tired of that, and I get it, right? And so it was a 50-50 deal. It was easy for me to point responsibility to her, but it was 50% my responsibility. Through that process, I lost my home, I lost my car, I pretty much lost everything, and hit the reset button. And I was doing dumb stuff too, which I had to learn from, which a lot of us are learning from right now. And I know I'm sweating right now, but I've been out here working out, pumping it up, protecting my mind, protecting my body. But I was doing dumb stuff too. I took a line of credit out of my home to buy a piece of property in Mexico. I was spending money I didn't have. I was just doing dumb stuff, and it all kind of came tumbling down on me. But the reason that I've shared all of this with you this morning in this hyper vulnerable post is because everything that we've gone through in our life, everything, all those trials, all those mishaps, all those mistakes are to refine you for the moment that you are standing in right now. Everything you've gone through is to refine you for the moment that you are standing in right now. And you have a choice. You have a choice today. You have a choice tomorrow. Are you going to stand in excellence? In times like these, you need to know who you are. You need to know what you stand for. You need to know what you stand against, because we are going to have to make some tough decisions in the coming days and in the coming weeks, and face some tough realities, right? This is hard on everybody. I don't care who you are. But my point in wrapping this post up and moving forward this morning is to remind you that take any fear that you have and harness it, right? I wrote these things down that I've been through in my life this morning, all these brutal things, right? All these brutal things for the purpose of reminding myself that I am a warrior, a complete badass every day, all day, and I'm here to stand up, chin up, chest out, and face this thing head forward. So with that said, hope you guys have an amazing day. I hope you enjoyed this. If there's anything I can do to help you, send me a DM. A little bit overwhelmed right now with messages and so forth, but give me a couple days and I'll get back to you as best I can. Go out, lead by example. Real leaders lead right now. Anybody can champion the waters when they're calm. Right now is when real leaders stand up and step out. With that said, have a fabulous day. Love you guys. Appreciate you. And I'm going to go in and have some breakfast. Talk to you soon.